How we doing? Vegas. Vegas, true story. Met my wife in Vegas, so this place has a special spot in my heart. But just wanted to thank Chris, Cardinal Health, every single person in this room, honored and grateful to be here. Because you may not know this yet, but we share a ton in common. I, like you, was cut from the cloth of sales and business development. That is my DNA. I have been in the trenches. I have been in the marketplace just trying to make things happen. Fun fact, 15 years in sports, the teams I worked for made the playoffs once. So, underdog is something that is just a part of the vernacular. And so I hope that we can learn how to resurrect ourselves during a tough chapter, but a brighter tomorrow. And that's where the Back to the Future is going to come in. Because as I think about this with Back to the Future, so there's the past, present, and future. And if you're anything like me, we've been aging in some dog years lately. Like 2019 to me feels like a decade ago. If that's the case for you too, we always try to think about being super intentional about what do we want to resurrect from back then? What do we want to reignite? What was happening back then that we do want to bring to the present? But then what are those things that we should leave behind? It's that whole, we've always done it this way before, and that's not always the best business strategy. It's also not always the best life strategy. So what are you leaving behind, and what do you want to bring back? Now for the present, I'd like to challenge everybody to keep 3 table stakes top of mind. Awareness, ownership, and intention. If you can step into each day with awareness, ownership, and intention, that is a way to win and dominate the day. And then for the future, it's about a vision, it's about a game plan. And a game plan is something I was very familiar with. As Chris mentioned, 15 years in the NFL and NBA. You can see here I'm 5'9", $180. I was not the dude that was on the field or the court. I was in the boardroom. I was in the sales trenches, just like a lot of folks in this room. And so what I learned was I got obsessed with performance, with production. But then I also got obsessed with how do you win that outside game by mastering the inside game of purpose, of passion, of growth, of trying to ignite impact out in the marketplace. And so I bottled it up, and I really understood that there are 2 groups of people relative to performance, those that separate themselves from the pack. And I wanted to bring this message out, but I was worried that it was not industry agnostic. I thought it was just some special sauce that we had brewing in the NFL, NBA, and in the business of sports. So then what happens is we took the show on the road. And so for the last handful of years, here's a small list of the portfolio of clients, whether training, whether coaching, whether consulting, from the Fortune companies to collaborating with the Navy SEALs, who know something about performance. And again, I studied it. And I bounced all of these ideas and insights off of them to see if they would pass that stress test. And indeed they did. And so today, we're going to learn what those themes were. What does, in fact, separate the elite from the pack? How can you, in fact, be the best sales team, not only in Cardinal Health, but in the industry? And you know both groups of people that I'm talking about. There are those that seemingly always play on their toes. And then there are others that retreat on their heels. Or as I like to say, those that play offense versus those that play defense. Defense are on their heels. Offense, we are on our toes. Defense, mindset. Think about this. Think about this. You know both groups of people. There is a mindset where they play not to lose. And then there's a different group that has a mindset where they play to win. Defense, external circumstances. The market always seems to dictate the terms, their mood, their energy, their attitude. But then on offense, same things happen around them. But they own it. They step into it. They embrace it. We'll soon learn they chase the storm. They operate on their own terms, and the same dynamics surround them. So the question now is, how do you want to play?